Hello.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
Good morning,
How you
evening,
doing?
afternoon.
I just merged "how you doing" into one word, and it felt funny.
Do you say y'all?
Yeah, I said,
Because
"Hey, y'all.
it sounded
How you
like
doing?"
how y'all doing. So how y'all doing?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, "Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? How ya doing? How ya doing?"
How ya doing?
But like, I was like swallowing my drink at the same time of saying that, so I was like, "How you doing?" It was great.
Oh, you're wearing the dragon ring today.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks fire.
One day you'll see it.
But
Boy. Anyway, welcome back. Thank y'all for coming back, or welcome newly, I guess. If
yeah,
you're
welcome
new. Hello.
anybody who's new. My name is Assad,
My name is Ibrahim.
and today we are again just chilling, just vibing, having fun. Discussion type beat. We had a little bit of a debate curiosity that we wanted to settle. So today we have a little thing we'll do a little later, but first let's do the talking. How you doing, Ibrahim? What's up? You got anything crazy in your life going on? It's been a while since we've done a personal life checkup.
No, honestly, I'm chilling in college.
Is second semester better than the first?
I don't know yet. I was actually thinking about this. I was like, I don't want to say it's easy yet,
because then it immediately does not become easy.
And then like it kicks me in the butt, and you're like,
absolutely.
Wait, was it easy? I don't know. But all my professors right now are like really weird, and I don't know how to take any of them right now. My math teacher is an old Polish dude who like everything on pen and paper, and in every single step you write, you have to put like a period after it to symbolize you're ending the step, and every little item is numbered. I don't know. And he like thinks we're all stupid, so he's reteaching us calculus 1. Literally, I'm not even joking. He retaught us derivatives the other day, and I'm like, bro, we missed one question on like your lecture. We're not all stupid.
He didn't ask you any more after that?
No, he asked one question. We all missed it somehow, and then like I think it was just like some like mind slip. I understood how I missed it. I don't know, but he's looked at us with that face of like a disappointed like Middle Eastern person, and then he goes, maybe we should review. And then he goes back and starts reviewing all of calculus 1 right now, and I'm like, oh no, don't do that. And then my econ professor is dope. My business law, what's her name? Public law professor is interesting. I only see her once a week for 3 hours at night. It's great. I don't know. I don't want to say anything like, I'm happy. It's a lot easier. And then it turns right around and punches me in the throat.
Everybody who I bring up second semester to, I've never been one to believe in juju or like direct karma.
Yeah.
But I will. I guess out of the most fear, people will do anything. And every time I talk to someone new, I preface, I'm like, oh, I mean, it's not bad yet. Because if you say it's good so far, that's like, you're tempting fate. But if you say it's not bad yet, that pessimistic attitude may result in a positive charge.
Yeah, sure.
In your life.
Anytime I talk to like our old counselor, she's like, "Oh, Ibrahim, how are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing all right now. How are you?" She goes, "I'm good." She's like, "Why do you say right now?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Give me like an hour, I won't be all right. Give me like 2 days, I won't be all right. We'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm chilling. How are you?"
Specificity is important.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Why are you saying yet and right now and all that?" I'm like, because right now I'm fine. I don't know. Try to explain that.
So I guess for the viewers who don't know, do you think maybe it has to do with your major change?
I don't know.
Because it's it's
last
different
semester,
classes from engineers.
Last semester kicked my butt, and so coming into like a new semester, no matter what classes I'm taking, what degree it is, I just like I just want to get this over with, because I think after the semester I should be transferring to like a university. But then again, like I just can't fail any classes. B is preferred, like lowest. But I'm just like, I don't want to say anything until I get like 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, and then just feel it all out, and then I'll decide how it goes. Just because I'm too scared to say anything right now.
Okay.
My dad asked me when I came back from like the first day of school. He was like, "So how's school? Like your first day, blah blah." And I'm like, "It's good right now. I think I'll be doing fine this semester." He goes, "Oi, hold on, wait. Don't say you're gonna be doing good this semester." I'm like, "What? Why? Don't you want to hear that?" I was like a Middle Eastern parent. Don't you want to hear I'm doing good this semester? He goes, "It's your first day. Don't base anything off your first day." And I'm like, yeah, okay, no, that's fair. That's definitely fair. Okay.
You got me there, Pops.
Yeah, I know. That's definitely fair. And so now I just walk around like, so far so good. That's all I can really say. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but so far so good.
No, I have the same mental. All of my classes are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I have a lab on Thursday at 8 a.m.
I hate that.
Which means I wake up at 6.
I hate that.
But other than that, it's great because Thursday's empty, Tuesday's empty. But Monday, bro...
Monday's my worst class.
It's like... I have a class from 9 to 11, and then I have a class from 12 to 1, then I have a class from 1 to 2:15, and then I have a freaking 3.5 hour break. And after that, I have a class at 5:30 that on Monday goes till 7:30 or something. And then on Wednesday is just from 5:30 to 6:45 to 7. It kind of changes depending because there's like a recitation period after that, which on Monday is from 7 to 7:30 or 7 to 7:45.
Right.
So usually Monday, Wednesday, bro, I'm like in class all day. Like it's crazy. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, I'm like, is this what it feels like to enjoy living?
Honestly, not true.
I always used to say, why don't school give us like more days of the week, but then like more break days in between, something to split it up?
Sure, yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel because like I have a lot of work and then also have like nothing, and then I'll be like, oh, I guess I can do other things.
Yeah, honestly, like saying Monday, I have a class from 11 to 12:50, and then I have a class from 1, like 10 minutes difference. I go from one class to another class from 1 to 2:15. Then I have a 5-hour break. And then I have a class from 7 o'clock to 9:45 p.m. It feels weird because on Tuesday I have a class from 1 to 2:15. That's it. And then Wednesday I have the same first two morning classes from Monday, and then Thursday I have the same class from Tuesday. And it's like it's a really weird balance because one day I have to get up early and like make sure I have to drive across town, so 30 minutes driving, blah blah. And then Tuesday, it's like I can wake up 5 minutes before my class and just walk to class because I'm really close to school.
Yeah, my sleep schedule, that's the one thing that it's like you're right, every other day is different. So I'm so up and down that like my body is like, oh, we're going to pass out today, actually. Yeah. I don't know if you have any homework to do, but screw that. Just go to sleep.
Do your homework tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like you have all day tomorrow. It's fine. Just do it tomorrow. But all the due dates are on the hard days, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, my due days, for some reason, like my math class, we meet on Monday at 1 p.m. For some reason, he makes all the things due Monday 1 p.m.
Like the week after?
Yeah. Or Wednesday 1 p.m. because we also meet on Wednesday. But I'm like, dude, that's so obnoxious. Just have it to where we put it like 11:59 p.m. on Monday at least, not 1 p.m. Monday.
It's a weird time.
I hate professors who do that. Like all my other professors are like, oh, 11 p.m. Thursday night. I can get through that. But like 1 p.m. on a Monday, 1 p.m. on a Wednesday.
I guess in your head you're gonna have to like think about it like a Sunday 11:59.
Yeah.
So basically it should be done by Monday.
So like usually I start doing it on like Saturday.
Yeah.
Just because like if I start on Saturday, I have issues with it, whatever the case is. At least I have all Sunday to do it.
True.
But Monday 1 p.m., Wednesday 1 p.m., bro, you're telling me like no, I hate that. It pisses me off.
We haven't had a bathroom review in quite a long time. Have there been any interesting bathrooms that you've been in? Because I'm trying to think. For me, we went to that one fish place. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really gone any other cooler bathrooms since.
I went to one place, kind of in like the bigger in the city, but the only reason I liked that restaurant, I liked that bathroom was because of like the wallpaper, the painting, whatever you want to call it, like the wall design, whatever it's called. But besides that, I'm like, this is a trash bathroom. That's the only thing. I was like, do I bring it up for bathroom review? Nah, I don't know. But it was a nice restaurant. It's like more of like the high end, like white people, like a burger is like $17, and I was like, this food is honestly mediocre,
classy,
not worth any of my money and my time.
You paid for that bathroom wallpaper, Ibrahim.
I guess, and it was a 1-person bathroom with just a toilet. There's no urinal like the one person bathrooms like we usually see. There was like, shoot, I think I have a video. There was a like it was just really boring. Like it just didn't have anything special for me to like. Oh, okay, let me bring this up in the bathroom review. And that was essentially it. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it's just like a nice little blue wallpaper, and that's it.
It looks like a navy blue, like a baby's bedroom with a toilet in it.
It's like a light blue.
It looks like a doctor's office for kids. It looks like a pediatric doctor's office bathroom.
Yeah.
This is weird, dude.
And it is like some like $20 a sandwich with like a little kale salad next to it. And I don't know why I went, because one of our friends like was hungry and I was like, okay, food, whatever. But I didn't expect to go to this place and pay so much for food and then be disappointed. I got a chicken sandwich, right? Exactly like Popeyes. Popeyes was better.
Oh my.
I was like, I looked at it, it's like literally half the size of Popeye's sandwich, and I was like, this is a disappointment,
That's a claim, bro.
When it came out, I think I paid like $15 or something for a sandwich, a drink, and then like a small little salad, whatever. The freaking sandwich came out, and it was smaller than like, it was like probably the size, a little bit bigger than a slider.
Oh no.
And
that is so bad.
I took a bite into it. The chicken was good. Like, I'm not going to say it was bad. I was just like, it was good, but it was not worth $15. And then when you give the salad... You know, like the applesauce cups we used to like get in middle school or like elementary school. You know, Mott's or whatever it was. It was the size of that, and then like a drink. That's like a normal whatever drink. The drink was the best part of all because it was just like cool like Italian soda or whatever it was. But I was like, that's it. And like the salad was over balsamic vinegared, and I was like, bro, this is trash. I was like, maybe I'm gonna use the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. It looks like a doctor's office for like pediatrics, and I'm like, 4 out of 10. Instantly, I was like 4 out of 10. As soon as I walked in, the only thing that I really like, I don't know how I feel, was the trash can there. And did you see the trash can?
Yeah, it was like the little Starbucks kind where it's like a dome with the hole in it.
The dome at the top and the little hole. Those I feel like work if you're in like a main building, like you're in like reception part of the building
where the trash can's like shown to people.
Yeah, like everyone sees a trash can. You're not using it for any like dumps or whatever. Like you're using just as like a trash can. I'm gonna throw my cup away. I'll throw like this napkin away, whatever. I don't see the point of putting a dome, one of those like big dome ones with a hole on top, in a bathroom.
I guess the logic is that because it's so much smaller, people aren't throwing them or missing them and seeing them fall on the floor because you can't. So instead you have to put it in there.
But if you miss, you miss.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. If people don't get the idea to throw it in there because it's such a tiny hole.
I threw it in there.
Well, maybe they couldn't account for wild cards like you.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. I can't really think of anything other than that. I remember at Starbucks they were just really annoying to clean because you if the trash bag wasn't full, you had to stick your hand down it and push all the trash down so that it could level out.
Yeah,
but not that awful if you put like a paper towel over your hand. But sometimes, bro, it was like a bayou in there.
Yeah, and that would make sense. Like if it's like food or like normal waste, that makes sense. But I don't see the point of putting like that type of trash can in a bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a food restaurant.
Yeah.
So who knows what kind of stuff is coming out of people and what kind of stuff they're trying to throw away.
And you know, like those signs that are like, please do not flush like toilet paper down the thing. I think I had one of those. And I'm like, so what do you want me to do? Like wipe my butt and throw it in a trash can?
I never understand. Dude, actually, that's a very good point. Toilet paper is meant to be flushed down the toilet. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I guess that restaurant might have a specifically like tiny sewage pipe or something. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe the toilet's just prone to clogging. But like, societally, why don't we tell people that? Because I remember there was a day that I did it, and then I think it was Aviv, and I was like, hey, Aviv, listen, you're a plumber. You do kind of stuff like this. I feel bad when I do it to public restrooms. I know at home it's fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, I feel bad when I do this in public restrooms. Is it wrong? And he was like, no, Assad. As a plumber, I'll tell you, they're designed to be flushed.
Yeah. Down
the toilet. You're not supposed. You see, he was telling me you're not supposed to put a child's underwear down the toilet.
That's true.
Which is something he had to pluck out of a toilet
child's
that day.
Underwear or like diaper?
No, underwear.
Okay, that's weird.
Diaper would make a little bit more sense, just from an idea perspective.
I would have completely thought the other way. I think like a diaper does not belong.
No. He had to pluck some kid's underwear out of the toilet, and it was so far in the drainage pipe he had to use one of those fancy dangle claw things.
Ew.
So for him, he was like, "Yeah, no, a kid's underwear, no, toilet paper, yeah," but not many people see it that way, or rather, people don't immediately think it. But it makes the most sense. Like, why would you take that and put it in the side trash can?
Yeah.
Where your dookie can fester and cook in there if it's a hot day, and then you have to open that thing back up and then put another one later. You're gonna smell the draft from before,
and then a person has to come clean out the trash can.
And then
gotta wear like
mother
a hazmat
or someone
suit.
from a service thing has to come and clean that.
Yeah, and they're like, shh, like Darth Vader, sir, please do not. Oh, he wiped it in there. Like,
yeah,
what happens then?
He like walks in there and he's like, oh my god, it was a fresh one. Oh, that's nice and moist. Oh god.
Okay, all right. Let me burn this bag.
Yeah. No, I don't get it. I don't know why people do that. It's kind of dumb.
And then like toilet paper. At least okay, take a good company toilet paper, right? Like the ones that are actually like when you wipe your butt.
2-ply.
Sure.
2-ply minimum, guys. Don't ever settle for anything less.
Those, if you like throw it in water, it like kind of like not dissolves, but it gets like really really like transparent and like it doesn't even matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Where like your dookie is like more solid than the paper, so I feel like that the toilet paper itself doesn't make issues unless they're like wiping 900 times and then it clogs the toilet because of how much toilet paper. But there's no actual reason for you not to throw it in the toilet.
Yeah, usually what causes a clog is like you put the paper in there, and if you use too much, it'll create like a wall where the absorption is just enough, and the not surface tension, but like just there's a lot of water in the toilet paper already, so it kind of creates a secondary wall to not let new water through, and then also if you have a big deuce, that'll also clog things up, so then the water just can't flow.
I've clogged the bathroom twice in my life. Both while I was a child.
Did your dad ever... I mean, dad is the person I would assume, but, like, did anybody ever teach you how to plunge a toilet?
No. As soon as I clogged the toilet, my mom walked in with a plunger, and she was like... And then she started doing it, and I was like, is that why that's behind my toilet this whole time? Was that what it is?
No, I feel that. I've always wondered. The reason I ask is because, like, literally, like, if we're going to do it in the future, I was this old when I learned, but... I learned like 2 years ago in the pandemic because we couldn't have anybody come clean our thing or anything.
Yeah.
That how to unclog a toilet with a plunger. And I was like, why didn't anybody teach me this very basic skill for a tool that exists in every single place humans exist? There was a toilet paper. Toilet. Yeah. So why did no one teach me this? And I had to figure out never in my life. Okay.
Google how to...
No, exactly. No, like, okay, as we get older, I kind of agree with, like, boomers, right? I feel like an idiot that I have to Google such simple things. And that day, I had to YouTube how to unclog a toilet, how to use a plunger, and I learned, and I was like, I wish I had to go back to the library and read an old book from the shelf on how to because I just feel like an idiot. But anyway, I'm really good at plunging toilets now. Like I'm obscenely good at plunging toilets.
Yeah,
I know that pressure differential and the angle of scoopage and all that stuff. I'm really good at it.
Dude,
now.
The other day, I think like actually 3 days ago, my sister at like 1:30 a.m. I'm the only one awake at my house, and like she doesn't live with us. She like texts me and my brother's group chat. And she goes, "Hey, are any of y'all awake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm awake. What's up?" She goes, "My toilet isn't flushing." Mm-mm. So I was like, okay, is your water on? Like maybe like, I don't know, something like water shut off or something. And she goes, I think so, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean you think so? Is the water on or off? She goes, yeah, question mark. I'm like, go to your sink, turn on the water. Does it run? Yes. Okay, your water's not off. And she's like, okay, now what? And so I'm like, okay, just open the back of your toilet, little part. And she FaceTimed and she goes, okay, now what? And the back of the toilet, usually there's water in there, so the flushes, whatever. There's no water in there. So I told her how to like fix that issue, and she goes, oh, okay, thanks. I'm like, okay, bye. And then she like hangs up, and I'm like, is this really what my life is now? Now I know how to run a toilet, and like I know what the issue is when the little bobber doesn't come back up in the thing, and like the water doesn't flow, and then like, why do I know this out of nowhere? Like, how many times did I have a toilet issue?
Dude, actually, same thing. My toilet, the one in my bathroom, it used to be prone because the actual lever that switches to, like, you know, if the water level's high enough, it'll push things down and reverse if the water's coming up. It didn't work. So in order to make the water start flowing into the thing to get a flush, you have to like flick it.
Yeah.
And then eventually
that's what I told my sister. I was like, flick it a couple times and see what happens.
And I got tired of doing that every day because I was like, this is so irritating. But then I looked at the thing and I was like, oh my God. This like, system of pipes and whatever this is, it should be simple, but oh my God, it's complicated. And I was like, Dad, I don't know how to fix this. And he was like, trust me. And then he just fixed it. And in the back of my mind, I was like, that's going to be a freaking problem for me someday because he just did it and I don't know how to do it.
It's like 4 years ago, we had that same issue where after every single flush, you'd have to take off like the top because like it'll just flush the water, but it wouldn't refill the back tank. And so like I would flush the toilet, wait to see if like any water would fill back up. I wouldn't hear the water fill back up. Open up the back tank, flick it up a couple times, the water would refill. Right after every single dump,
irritating.
Every single dump, every single number one, whatever. Right. So at one point, I was like, okay. I walked to my mom, and I'm like, yo, my toilet's messed up. we need to fix it. So she looks at it. She goes, okay, we're going to need to buy a new little thing in the back. The little like flusher, plunger, whatever you want to call it. We go to Home Depot, we buy a new one, and come back, and she goes, okay, take apart the old one and put apart the new one. And I'm like, as an engineer, I am stuck. I don't know how to do this.
My degree has failed me.
I didn't get a degree yet, Mom. Can you go ask my brother? He has a degree in mechanical engineering. I don't. Please, someone help. And so I had to sit there and figure out. She's like, hey, you can figure it out.
Was it simple?
It was honestly not that bad. Oh, you just turn off the water, connect a few pipes, take off the old one, unscrew, done. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. And so after that moment, my mom was like, hey, he's not incompetent. I'm going to start telling him to do more stuff like this.
Now that you know how to fix a toilet, why can't you do this?
To the point where during the pandemic, or like kind of like towards like the beginning before everyone went to lockdown, our disposal stopped working, like our sink disposal and garbage disposal. That's what it's called. Mm-hmm. And Mom was like, we're going to buy a new one. And I'm like, are we now? And she goes, yeah. And you're going to install it. And I'm like, am I now? And she goes, yeah. And I'm
this is some new information. I didn't know
that. I didn't know that. I was going to go like hang out with friends tomorrow. I don't know. She was like, no. You're installing a thing before you go to your friends. And so I literally sat there for 3 hours under my kitchen sink, taking apart an old garbage disposal and then putting up a new one. Do you understand how stupid it is to put in a new garbage disposal?
From what I understand, it's easier than the toilet thing, but I could be wrong.
My one issue was that a garbage disposal is like 15 pounds, 20 pounds.
Oh,
I had to hold that with my left hand and then screw in with my right hand. The biggest issue was me holding it for a long period of time, trying to get everything in and like screwing everything, because my arm would get tired so fast. I don't know how. I would sit there and be like, wait, it's not fitting. Hold on, guys, it's not fit. Okay, hold on, break time. And it would not work for the life of me. And then Mom was like, here, let me try. And you know, when your mom's like, let me try, you feel like an idiot because your mom's about to show you up and stuff like that. Oh my God,
it sucks.
I'm like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't know. I'd go tell Dad, but my dad's is not retired yet, blah, blah, blah. And so she comes and lays down, she puts it in there. She goes, yeah, I don't know how to do this either. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey,
how you doing? All right,
confidence restored.
Now I know I'm not an idiot. And then I lay back down. I'm holding the, what's it called?
The conduit?
And I'm holding the garbage disposal. And from the top, my mom's trying to hold it from the inside. We figured out some way to screw it back in. And I'm like, after I was done, I looked at my mom and was like, I'm never doing anything in engineering-wise, putting apart appliance-wise, any of this stuff ever again. She goes, honestly, that's fair. This was stupid and long for some reason. And so now it's just like, anytime there's a new thing, I'm like, go tell my brother, hey, you go do it. What? Mom told you. Yeah, but you have an engineering degree. I don't.
That's a good excuse.
And Mom's like, I don't want to get into this argument. I'm just going to let them figure it all out. And so, yeah. And then anytime we have to fix the pool system outside, because our pool system is stupid, I'm the one usually fixing it outside. And it's just like, I'm not a pool technician. I don't know how to fix this stuff.
You're becoming one. You're becoming a full-time pipes guy.
Bro, I know when the pool sounds like this, at any point of the day, if I walk outside and hear something weird, different tune, that pipe seems funny, I just know what's going on. It's weird. And so when I went over to California to my aunt's house, she has a pool and she was talking to some dude who's going to come the next day to fix her pool. I walk outside, I'm listening to her pool and I'm like, oh, you just need to clean this, and this. And she goes, what? I'm like, yeah, clean that little... Actually, turn off the system. I'll do it for you. Put the system in service mode. And then I walk in, and I do a couple things, and then it runs back normal. And she goes, huh, okay.
You have to stop being so good at things. That's why people expect things out of you, because you're good at things.
That's literally what I've been doing for the past semester. I'm like, I just need to start being a horrible person, so no one comes talk to me about their problems. I just need to be an idiot, so no one expects me to do anything smart. Mm-hmm. And I just need to fail at life, so no one expects anything from me.
Exactly.
Because everyone expects
stuff from me. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Now, ever since middle school, my mom expects me to make her coffee in the morning, Turkish coffee in the morning. Because I got so good at it, I understand in middle school, my mom's waking up, I can't drive yet, she has to take me to class, to school, whatever, football practice, early in the morning, I'll make her coffee. That's fine. I got into high school, I'm not playing football anymore. I mean, I can take the bus, but I still make her coffee in the morning, whatever, right? It got to the point where her friends come over, and she wants coffee. My sister lives there, my brother lives there, my dad lives there. She only has, one friend over, she can get up and, pause for a second and make coffee. No. Call Ibrahim that's in the bathroom, taking a dump. Tell him to hurry up and wipe, and make sure to flush the toilet and make sure it works and come back downstairs and make coffee. I'm in the bathroom. Hurry up. I need coffee. She's waiting here. It's messed up for you to sit here and expect me not to give her coffee. Well, listen, you have 2 other children in the house. No. Hurry up.
That's how it goes, bro.
And I'm like, dude, what
same
do you
thing
want?
like when I was a kid, right? And I was like, Mom, I want to drive so bad. I'll do anything. I even said to them, I was like, I will do the groceries. I just want to drive that badly. Now, every time they're like, hey, do you want to go get this for me? And I'm like, okay, sure. Now to the point where no one gets the groceries.
Yeah.
I have to get the groceries. My dad will also get groceries, but there will be like periods of time where like someone will just be like, hey, can you go get this? Hey, can you go get that? And then, hey, can you pick me up? Hey, can you do that? And I was like, technically, I signed up for this, so I should not complain.
Yeah, but that's what I told my family. I'm like, I don't mind going to get groceries, and I truly don't. Like, it's fun. I just put on my AirPods and I just walk around like, hey guys, where's the pasta? All right, cool. And like, I walk around with my music. And I don't mind, like, I enjoy driving, but it's gotten really repetitive. Ever since my sisters started getting married, Ibrahim, go to Dallas 4 times and come back and, like, drive, like, an extra, like, 25 minutes out of the way and do this, all this, and this. And I'm like, okay, bro, relax.
Actually, we also got a new disposal. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I get how you feel.
Yeah.
And my dad and I looked at the sink and we were like, and we both looked at each other and we were like, can you do it?
Have you done it yet?
We already did. So, like, my dad, it got really bad. Like, I don't know why, but my brothers kept forgetting, so they kept putting food in that area, and then the water kept bubbling, and I'm pretty sure there was, like, a new organism growing in there.
Fun.
So then eventually, I just poured, like, hella bleach in the thing, and then soap, and then water, and just mixed it and let it sit overnight. So I killed the beast, but the cloggage was still there. And then one night, it just happened. And I was like, Dad, you were supposed to show me how to do this. And he was like, I did it anyway. And I was like, oh my God. He told me it was just as simple as just like taking it out, making sure the pieces lined with the pipes.
It is, 100%.
And I was like,
mine was just super heavy for some reason. And the reason
mine probably was also.
The reason ours, like we had to change ours is because, when you turn on the little switch and it goes down and it like cuts whatever, that little like blade thing contraption broke.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Versus, like, I think, like, yours, like, I don't know, something different. But, like, ours, like, broke.
Same thing.
And so I was like,
stopped working.
I just got to, like, change the whole thing. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
But
we got an incinerator. I think that's what ours was called.
I have no clue. It's been, like, 3 years.
Oh, that was a while ago.
It was, like, right before, like, COVID actually happened.
3 years ago.
I don't think it was 3 years. I think it might have been, like, 2.
It's 2.5, but still.
Sure. But I was like, bro.
2.5 years ago.
I remember my left arm hurting and my back hurting because like the cabinet wasn't the same level as the floor, and like I'd have to like my back. I'd have to lay down and break my back putting it in there with my left arm dying and the wrench not going in the right spot and nothing lined up, and then the water started dripping in my face, and I'm like, what is this? Why does it taste funny?
That's a vibe. No,
yeah.
I feel that. So I actually coincidentally, or not coincidentally, speaking of. That feeling, right, when your mom shows you up or your dad shows you up, because they're like, oh, you're not doing it? Dude, it's like 10 times worse if your parents ask you to find something.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like,
I hate doing that.
My mom got, like, especially when we were younger, she got so mad. She'd be like, hey, Asa, go to this room. The remote is in this location in this place. And I would go there to that location and that place. Sometimes I'd forget on the way because, alhamdulillah, we had a big house. Yeah. But so I didn't really, and I could logic myself. But the worst times, even when you forget, or rather when you have to go back and tell them you couldn't find it, the worst times are when it isn't there and you have to tell them. Because then they get up and they're like, oh, you idiot, you couldn't find a freaking remote. Let me go
Oh, it's right here.
But you can't be like, ha! I told you! You can't, because then you get beat. So then instead you're going to be like, yes, interesting how that is not in the place that you specified. I wonder what could have happened there. Anywho, I wonder where the real one is.
Bro, that happens to me so much. To the point where, like, I don't even I don't walk back to my mom and tell her, like, oh, I can't find your headphones or whatever. I'd be like, I'd yell from her room, Mama, I can't find your headphones. I told you it's next to the window. It's not. But hey, if you get up right now, you're not gonna find it. Okay, check the office. I go to the office. Mom, it's not here. I don't go back and face to face because I'm too scared.
It's too scary, bro.
And she's like, okay, okay, I found it. Where? It was in my pocket. Oh my God, Mama.
See, I get the vibe, because now as an older sibling, I'm like, yeah, just go get this useless thing that's probably 2 feet in front of me. But I don't understand the animosity. Because, like, I remember when my mom would do that and I'd come back empty-handed, she'd be like, you're an actual useless human being. Why are you on this planet? And I'd be like, Mom, I don't know. And she'd be like, if you can't find a freaking stone, how the hell are you going to go to college? And I'm like, oh,
Are you going to find a woman, no. A job, a career, children?
Like, no, Mo, no. Oh, God. My whole future is collapsing before my eyes. And then my mom would just be like, I'm not going to ask you to do this ever again because you're just so bad at it. And I'd be like, oh, okay, Mom.
And then next week they ask you to do it.
Hey, can you go? And I'm like, yo, what? I thought I was off payroll, bro. What's going on?
Bro, I remember, like, ever since growing up, my mom has this saying, or I guess like a normal Arabic saying, but it essentially is like, لو أنا قمت ولقيتها شو حيصير, right? Essentially, in translation is, if I got up and found it, what's going to happen?
Same thing.
Right?
Same thing.
And so I'm just like, you know, like if I'm looking for something for like her cooking or like her AirPods, whatever. And she says that to me, I'm like, I don't know. So I used to get scared. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Are you going to tell me what's going to happen? Is this one of those tricks? I don't know.
It's such a scary
and
statement.
Then, as I started growing up more, like now, if she tells me that, I'm like, what's going to happen is you're not going to tell me to do it ever again. I just can never show up. And she gives me that look and she's like, excuse me? You want to be sassy? Let me roll up my sleeves. I got time. I'm retired. What you doing today?
My knuckles been cold for a minute.
Because I haven't hit you in a while. Hey, where's my shoe at? I don't remember where I put that one at.
There's a comedy special on Netflix, which is like a TV show of other comedians doing like 30-minute bits.
Yeah. And
like the first guy it's called The Stand-Ups, and the first guy on the latest season, he had a story just like this, and it ended with his grandma throwing him across the kitchen room. And he was like 4 or 5, so he was flingable.
Yeah.
And I always feared that outcome. Now my mom would just be like, "All right, pick me up like a piece of trash and throw me across the room," and I'd be like, I just couldn't. The worst thing was when you got punished and it genuinely wasn't there. And you're like, I literally, if only you knew. And this is the one thing though. And I got mad at it when I was a kid. But now that I'm older, I realize because kids are dumb, you can't admit that you were wrong.
Yeah.
Like I so badly wanted my mom to be like, "Oh, Bit, I'm sorry. Like, you know, I didn't see it there. You're right. Yeah. You know, sorry about all the stuff you said."
That doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. But the thing is, as like a teacher, a tutor, or just like a person who works with kids, right? Like, you can't, because that gets to their heads real quick.
Like, oh,
and then they start being like, "Yeah, so I'm smarter than you now. Yeah. You can't work this new device of our generation. I can. So you listen to me." And they just put that leash on you. Like, all right, so now you're and you're like, oh, okay. I guess I let this go a little too far. I gave them too much freedom. So then you either have to really hit them with the back of your hand, not physically, or you have to just take it. Like, you just let them think they're the boss until they're older, and then they realize that they were never the boss.
Yeah, it's really weird because like my parents have gone to the point where like some of the technology that we do, they don't really like understand like how to set it up or whatever. And so we bought a new Wi-Fi router like I think a year ago or something like that. And my parents were like, the old one I know how to set up. This one's like a weird like different satellites in a different house, and then throughout the house is blah blah. Ibrahim, can you set it up? So when I was set it up, I understood it. I can read the manual. I can follow the steps, whatever. But like the other day, our Wi-Fi was going stupid, and my mom was like, and my dad was like, "Can you figure out what's going on?" And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I'm going looking around. I'm looking at the different satellites, blah blah blah. And my dad's like, "No, this is not working. So it has to be this." No, that's not how this Wi-Fi that you bought, like the router. That's not how this one works. No, this is how. No, listen, Dad, listen. That's not how this one works. No, listen, this is how it works. Why are you not listening to me? I'm a communications engineer for the past 25 years.
My whole resume, here's
my everything, bro. You're wrong. This is how it works. I'm like, okay, Bubba, go try it. He goes and tries it. It's not working. You want to know why? Because that's not how it works anymore. In the 1980s, it might have worked like that, but not anymore.
You can't just show it your degree.
Yeah, and so he's like, okay, fix it. And so like I just turn it off, the Wi-Fi, turn it back on, and it works. And he goes, okay, Minshuf. As in, like, we'll see. He's like, okay, bye. And then, anytime my mom asks, has a problem with, like, texting her, like, WhatsApp friends and something's not working, she's like, I can see her struggling. And I literally watching her struggle and do everything wrong. I'm like, here, Mama, let me help you. No. Mama, like, you just have to send, I'm doing it. Hold on. Okay. No, you're pressing the wrong button. Raheem, I lived longer than you in my fetus.
Been on this planet for 30 blah blah blah.
Why are you done blah blah blah? I know how to do this. Okay, go do it. She doesn't know how to do it. 20 minutes later, and I'm like, did you figure it out? No, it didn't work. Can I do it now? And she'll give me her phone with here, take it. See what you can do. You don't know anything. Take it. I take it. I'm like, look, the app does this when you turn on this mode in settings. There you go. You're done. So I did that. No, you didn't. I literally saw you. You didn't do it. It's okay.
No,
good try.
That's so. It's like I love it. I love it because now that I'm older, I get it. But then I hate it because it still happens.
Yeah.
And it's so irritating. Like my mom, we in her new house, we were getting she had a media room that the people who had left behind left a couple of bits of equipment that weren't exactly connected properly and blah 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 blah. Me and my brother had to basically puzzle together how to do AV and how to figure it out. But the entire time, my mom was like, "Do this, do that," and I was like, "Mom, why don't you do it?" And she was like, "No, I don't get it, blah blah. I need you guys. You guys are smart." And I was like, Okay. But then every time she said something and it just randomly turned out to be correct, she'd hit us with a million I told you so. And I was like, Mom, listen, I get that you were right. But why do you gotta say I told you so? She hit me with the, I've been on this planet for 50 years, and I was like, okay.
Listen,
sure.
Mom, I get it. Yeah.
So then we kept working on the thing, kept trying to connect the Wi-Fi, kept trying to connect the projector, blah, 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 blah. And then, we get to this certain part where, we're trying to test buttons on the receiver to make sure the signals are going in the right places. And we couldn't figure it out. Me and my brother were like, we don't want to break anything, so we're careful with all the buttons we hit. And my mom just, walks up to this thing and just starts slapping all the buttons. And then it just worked. And I was like, Mom, how'd you do that? Again, the whole speech, the whole CV, the whole everything. And I was like, but Mom, you didn't actually get it right. But I can't convince her because she did get it right. So now there's no going back. And now I just sit there every time and I'm like, Mom, I don't know how you did this. So if it breaks, I can't fix it because I don't know how you got there. And we'll be back in the same problem we had. I didn't even know how to do it in the beginning.
It's the same logic as when you're your parents hitting the thing and it works. Is the same logic as us blowing on the Nintendo cartridge and then put it back in. It's how did that work? I don't know. It's the same thing.
Dude, I was so bad about that. When I was a kid, I would whenever the keyboard would stop working, me and my brother would have this ritual where we would smash the keyboard and we'd be like, yes, it's listening to us. And we had this thing where sometimes we'd be like, oh, maybe the computer is not mad because we knew it wasn't real, but it was maybe it's frustrated. So we would turn it off, unplug everything, and then leave it for 2 days or something. Literal physical time. We would leave
you leave cookies and caress it and talk to it and be like, hey, Habibi, how do we do them
Sometimes
today?
we'd walk up to it, wipe it down a little bit, just be like, hey, shoddy.
Listen, I know you need a cleaning and you see that we're just playing with you and not giving you any love.
Yeah.
Let me I know you're mad.
Baby
about
girl,
that.
it's all games.
Listen,
it's all games for real.
It's not like that, bro. It's just business.
For real. You want to load up some Valorant from me on the side?
Run this by though. Hey.
And then we'd come back and it would work. All the problems.
So your computer was overheated.
No, it wasn't overheating. It was something stupid there was a virus or this or that. Okay. We couldn't open sometimes it was we couldn't open a file, and then all of a sudden we could. It was just magic. Yeah. I understand why human beings believed in paganism and magic because god dang, it really makes sense. You just do something weird and then all of a sudden it just rub your smelling salts on it and then do a little dance, spin around, say hi 5 times. But we used to do that all the time.
Rub it and say Bismillah 19 times and it turns out God does work with this stuff.
Yeah, especially with the religious stuff. I'm always like,
say Bismillah and do it. Okay.
All right. Okay. We should probably do our next segment because
this is the one thing that we actually talked about.
See that the ice is melting.
Okay, so
which will affect stuff. So
a couple days ago, I went to get coffee or tea or whatever from Dutch Bros. I don't know if y'all have Dutch Bros wherever y'all are, but where we are, there's a Dutch Bros. And I was going through the menu on my phone, and I guess I might have been stupid or blind or both at the same time, but I never saw that Dutch Bros had chais.
I think it's new. Not new, but unpopular. So not many people get it.
And I've gotten it once before from Starbucks, or not once, but a couple times before from Starbucks, and I've gotten it from weird small coffee places. But I never once thought about Dutch Bros having chai because I usually just get it from I usually just get actual coffee from there. And so I was talking to Saad today, and what we usually do while we're recording is we'll have a drink water, a Monster, Red Bull, coffee, Dutch Bros, iced, whatever, and I was talking to Saad today. I was like, yo, we should compare these two. And he wanted Dutch Bros. And then he told me about the chai thing. And I was like, you want to compare chais from Starbucks and Dutch Bros, like what we always see. And so that's what we were doing right now. We were gonna do it and just like talk about it like for fun. But then I was like, I saw it. The whole reason we have a podcast is so we can do stupid stuff like this and then just talk about it for like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Fundamentally, the podcast is, why don't we just like record what we're doing that is also interesting?
Yeah. Literally right before we started recording, he was like, Asad was like, do you want to just, do this off like mic and just like, do it right now for just us? I'm like, no. We were recording this. That's like the whole point of this whole thing. He goes, oh, okay, yeah, okay. And so here we are. We have from Starbucks, we have a grande iced chai tea latte, light ice, and caramel drizzle. Now, the drink normally does not come with a caramel drizzle. It's just everything without it.
When I got my Dutch Bros, I got a Golden Eagle, which has had a little bit of caramel in it. So we decided, hey, to make the taste testing fair, we should also put a little bit of caramel in the Starbucks chai. So my epiphany from the last time, and when I just had it, I said that Dutch chai has a lot more like sugar or something or milk, so it detracts from the spiciness of the chai itself, like the powder, versus Starbucks chai tastes a lot more like earthy, a lot more like actual chai, and then just has like a little milky taste on the side. And also the latte, they put a shot in it, so the caffeine also kind of draws the bitterness a little bit more, versus in Dutch, I don't even know if I asked for a shot or not. I forget what was in it, but I think it was a tea, so I'm pretty sure that it does have caffeine.
So I'm looking at the. Yeah, no, okay. So
Did it have any?
Say anything? No.
Does it say vanilla and caramel?
So the Golden Eagle at Dutch Bros, the Golden Eagle chai is vanilla and caramel with a caramel drizzle, which I guess is a little bit different from the Starbucks one.
Yeah.
And then the Starbucks one is just literally just a chai tea with like caramel drizzle because we kind of wanted it on the same level, same playing field. But I had another flavor from Dutch Bros the other day, and it was like all right. I had something called the White Zombie. It was white chocolate and vanilla.
Ooh.
Honestly, okay, it's cheaper than this one's. Dutch Bros' chai was a lot cheaper than Starbucks.
How much was it actually? I didn't really look.
It was like from Starbucks.
No.
From Dutch Bros. Mine was like $4.75.
Okay, that is not that bad.
Yeah, and then the Starbucks one, I think I paid like $5.80 after the drizzle, which was extra. So like around it was a little over $1 difference. But I just didn't I don't know, bro. I think the Dutch Bros was a little more boringer, if you know what I mean.
More boring?
It didn't really taste like chai.
Yeah, I think that's just because it's a little bit more muted. But we'll see. So here, since I already had a lot of it, why don't you go in and just give it a shot?
Oh God, here we go.
Okay, giving it also maybe a little watery and a little warmer. But the caramel should have been more evenly.
Oh, okay. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, that one is very different from the one I got.
Very different.
So different.
Huh? How much? What was different about the one that you had?
The one that I had was it was like white chocolate and vanilla or something like that. The White Zombie, white chocolate and vanilla. Bro, that chai did not even taste like chai. Oh. It tasted more on the coffee side than it tasted like tea.
But do you taste the chai?
That one, I can taste the chai in.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, that's very different. If that was what I got originally, I would have said like Dutch Bros is pretty good. I would have given it like a 4 out of 10 like I did the other day. But that one right there, the Golden Eagle, I don't know if it's anything else like extras that they put in there, but honestly, that one is pretty good.
Pretty good? Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Granted, that was a lot better than the one I had the other day. Now, the Starbucks one...
go in.
I don't know how I feel, but this is going to be really hard to compare.
Yeah.
Oh?
That was a deep swallow, bro.
Okay.
That was a deep swallow.
Before I say anything, I'm going to have to look up what they put in there now. In their chai. For the sole reason that chai... how do you explain chai?
So,
you worked at Starbucks, you know this definition.
So chai is different from my chai, which is different from your chai.
Yeah.
But chai at Starbucks or chai with white people drinks is this spicy, earthy kind of Indian concoction where it tastes a lot of like cinnamon and most spices are Indian, but it's more it's like cinnamon, except a little bit less sweet in all regards, and a little bit less strong. I guess it's not like as hard. It doesn't grip you as hard as cinnamon.
Yeah.
So it's like the base of a lot of chai drinks. And the difference that I was saying was that the Starbucks one's a little bit like stronger. Like it tastes
100%. It's
more
way
earthy
stronger
and more in the chai. And this one tastes more like milk with chai flavor.
Okay, so
which I prefer.
The Starbucks one says black tea infused with cinnamon, clove, and other warming spices are combined with milk and ice for a perfect balance of sweet and spicy. Ooh, that's
yeah, that's the word for it. Clove.
Clove. That's what I was looking for.
It has a clovey aftertaste. And this the Dutch one actually.
The Starbucks one has a lot stronger clove taste.
Yeah, the Dutch one has more. It's more on the cinnamon side.
Yeah.
Which makes it taste less gross.
Honestly, I don't mind the clove. I think the clove in the Starbucks one is stronger. I don't know how to. I mean, like, I don't mind it though. Maybe because we grew up like drinking like actual chai or whatever, like tea, and so it's like not that. To me, it's not weird because I've had some really weird chais in my life.
See, the thing about it for me is that I think about it like whenever I'm sick or something, that's when I want something herby, something a little more grounded and more like back home tasty. And then on certain days I'll want something just normal, right? So when I don't want like a flavor kick in the nose, right? I'll do a Dutch. But when I want something to like remind me of like the season, for example, if it was Christmas time or something, then I would hit it with a chai.
Is it Christmas Eve or more Thanksgiving-y? I think
that is such a good question. Actually,
I think chai is more Thanksgiving.
I think it's more Thanksgiving. Yeah,
because when you walk into like Hobby Lobby and like Michael's and you smell that's all Thanksgiving. That's what I'm tasting. I'm tasting.
If it had more ginger, then I would say Christmassy. But because it doesn't have ginger, then I go Thanksgiving.
I think when you walk into like a Michael's or like a Hobby Lobby or stuff like that, and you inhale that smell of just like the weird little pine cone, whatever smell that is, that's what you're tasting in Starbucks. The back
of a forest.
Yeah, that's what you're tasting in Starbucks.
Yeah, it actually kind of does taste like a forest now that I think about it.
Yeah, and it's weird. But I'm kind of leaning more towards the Starbucks just because there's more of like the spice that you said. The Dutch Bros just kind of feels like cream with some like little chai next to it, if you know what I mean.
Have you ever had a vanilla frappuccino?
Yes.
Or I think it. Yeah, it's like super sweet for randomly no reason.
Yeah.
I think it reminds me of that. Like the chai is so little, but there is like a weird bean
for the Starbucks.
Flavor. No, the Dutch Bros.
Oh, I thought you were leaning more towards Dutch Bros.
Yeah, but that's just one thing that I'm just thinking about. I would say I'm very like comfortably in the middle, but I would say that on a normal day I would go with Dutch.
Now I do want to say that Dutch Bros doesn't have just like a standard like chai tea latte type idea. They have like flavored ones.
Yes, they always
versus
have some
Starbucks that just has the basic.
Right.
So like the one that I got the other day did not taste at all like chai, and so I'm just like, wow, okay. I think that one is a lot just more sweet, but this one compared to like the Starbucks is very, very weirdly different to me. I don't know. It's weird.
No, I agree.
But also like I'm leaning more towards Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Or rather, cool. on a cold day, I would go with the Starbucks, but on a normal day, I go with Dutch.
I go with that every day.
But okay, so taste test over with.
This was like the main thing we were planning out, and then we went on a tangent, and like we died, and we came back.
Ibrahim came to my house to record, and he was like, "Yo, I already have an episode name idea. I already know what we can do. We already have this thing. Why not let's record it?" And I was like, "Ibrahim, this initiative you're showing,
bro, you act like I don't do nothing.
It's making me kind of excited.
You act like I don't do anything.
It's not that you don't do nothing. It's that it's like when you see your parents smile, and you're like, I didn't know you could do that." That's like crazy.
That's like in the group chat today. Did you see what they said in the group chat? They were like, they sent a bunch of pictures of me, and Amar goes, "Is there a candid picture of Ibrahim smiling?" And Safine goes, "Hold on. No, there isn't." And then I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
And all of them were just squinty, scowly pics that you took.
I will kill you.
Which is the closest. But if I may, there was like a really cool thing that happened today. If I kind of wanted to talk about. So. I was in class, right? My cool government class, my weird government class, and we sat down. We had all class, whatever. There's this kid in the back.
Oh God!
And I'll name him Jeff. Okay.
Jeffrey,
so
Jeffrey Bezos.
From the day class started, I just heard it in his voice. I just saw it in his face. Like, he just sounded like a guy who was always pissed. Like, he just sounded sassy all the time. Like, whenever my teacher would talk in class, he'd be like, no. I don't think that a democratic style of government is good because blah, 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 blah. He didn't have that opinion. That's just kind of how he sounded.
It's like a Karen.
And then the way he talked, the way he looked, right? He looked like he didn't want you to talk to him. And he had a couple people in class that he would talk to. So I would think, like, in the way he would, like, talk to them, he'd be like, if you looked at him, he'd give you a dirty look. Like, you know, why are you even, like, looking in my direction kind of thing? So I just got negative vibes from this guy overall. Mm-hmm. Class ends. We had a really good discussion. I asked my teacher something about, like, census data and forms and things like that. And he comes over and he starts, like, talking about his ethnicity. And I'm like, oh boy, man, I want to be here because it's an interesting conversation, but I think this guy hates me. And I was like, because I also, me, him, and one other dude are the only guys that, like, frequently talk in class. So usually I don't have any competition, but when I do, we're like, you know, button heads. So I was like, okay, I gotta play nice with this guy. He opens his mouth. He has that same annoying, weird voice, but he just sounds like a normal person. Okay. And then he's just talking about race and stuff. Sounds normal. He confers with another kid who he talks about his race and background back home and everything. And I was like, wow, this kid sounds normal. And then he looked at me. And I was like, oh, I hope I didn't piss him off. And he looks at me and he asks me. And he's just like, so, like, where are you from? And I was like, really? You want to know? You want to talk to me? You want to know where I'm from? You want to know? Yo, that's crazy, bro. No one ever asked me where I'm from. And I was like, yeah, blah, 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 India, Pakistan, whatever. Blah, blah. And he was like, dude, I love Pakistan. Like, I really want to go, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, huh? And then he's, like, super nice and super sociable. We talk about our teacher some more. We're all, like, circle talking now. And then as we're, like, getting up to go, right, and that other kid is talking to the teacher exclusively, like, actually asking a normal class question that we were preventing him from asking. He's like, so, like, what's your name? And then he's like, what do you do? Like, all this stuff. Like, he asked me questions. I don't know how long it's been since I've had a social interaction where I didn't have to, like, command the whole thing. Right. This guy, who I thought was an absolute butthole, right, who I judged based on his voice, right, actually just sounds and, like, has a weird face.
Does he wear glasses?
No.
Okay, never mind. Different guy.
He has, like, an RFB. Right. But he's super nice.
RFB?
Like a resting, you know.
RBF.
Or RBF.
We've been talking about computers long. RGB. RGB, not RBF.
And I was like, man. I was like, yeah, every now and then I look in the sky and I'll be like, hey, yo, man, you got me. I'm like, GG, bro. That was a good one. You got me with that one. And
he's talking about God. He's talking about God.
I'm talking about whichever entity you believe that exists.
But for him, he believes in God, so he's talking about. Anyway, continue.
Sure. And I was just so floored. I felt like I was in elementary school again because I was like, I literally judged a book by its cover, and I was completely wrong. And I've never ever had that happen. Usually, like, my assessments of people are really, really, like, spot on. And I feel really bad for having that judgment, but I feel so right that I'm like, but it's okay because I was right. Right. But this time I was so wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought the way he reacted to certain things other classmates said, I thought he had a problem with them too. Like he was critical about what they thought or things like that. It turns out that's just the tone of his voice.
I have this. I'm gonna say 3 kids, 2 in one class, 1 in another class, in a separate class. How do I explain, like, the idea behind them? They're one of those people that always answer questions in class. They're always talking if no one else is talking. They're one of those, like, upbeat people, but they're annoying know-it-alls, and they talk like to the teacher like it's normal, like I've known you for the past 75 years of my life, and it pisses me off. And the other day, I figured out that one of them was in my other night class, and I was like, "You're lying. I'm about to sit for 3 hours with this person, even though I sat with her in the morning for 2 hours. I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot." And so halfway through class, we have, like, a break because it's a long class, and so she gets up to talk to the professor, and I'm getting up to go use the bathroom, And she walks up to the professor and starts talking in like a normal voice.
Like not like high pitched or something?
No, it's just like, when you're talking to a professor, you're like, hey, professor, I have a question. You're a little bit louder. You're trying to like, talk across the room. And she goes and starts talking to the professor in a normal voice. She's like, hey, I had a question about number 2. The reason I didn't get it was because this and this. And I'm walking by and I'm like, my sense of what an absolute butt cheek of a person was just kind of like dwindled a little bit. I'm like,
she's normal.
Is she normal?
She's just like me.
She has purple hair.
Can't be possible.
I was like, what? She's like an older like lady in like maybe like her 50s.
What?
That's a lie. I think.
Why do you always get classes with old people?
That's a lie. She might have been like late 40s. Maybe.
Still,
she owns a gaming company with her with her husband or something. I don't know.
I only get people who are like our age.
No, I get all.
I've never gotten no 40 or 50-year-old people.
I had pregnant people.
Single moms.
I had single moms and pregnant moms in my math class at one point. It was fun. I used to share Starbucks with that one girl because she was pregnant. She would always have Starbucks with her. And
I remember.
Anyway,
I remember.
I was walking away. I was like, huh, okay, interesting. She's completely normal. And I went back to class. Class started up again. She goes, Professor, I have a question. I'm like, nope, she's a butt cheek again. I'm like, why? For a second, I was like, am I a bad person for thinking that she's like this? Like, maybe I need to like rethink life. Maybe, like something's wrong with me. Professor, you missed number 2. I'm gonna punch you and that purple hair, you obnoxious Karen looking. And I was like, nope, I'm completely normal. She's a weird one.
That's such a dude. That's like you have like the moment of hope in humanity, and you're like, maybe things will be okay.
Yeah, because when you said your like story, I was like, oh, I had a similar thing like that, and I was waiting for you to say, oh no, I was wrong, and I was like, oh no, he actually liked the person. I hated my person.
Yeah, my guy was like really cool. Like I think he was really nice, and it just so happened that he had a really annoying face. And I have the reverse. The guy who I thought he was attacking, and the guy who I thought was coolest, turned out to be the annoying one.
Oh.
And he is like very talkative as well, but he prefaces all of his stuff with stories. I had a friend in middle school who also did this. And the product of that strategy is you talk for a long time.
Yeah.
And if your professor is a sociology professor or something with liberal arts, they will let you speak.
Yeah, no, my econ
usually
class,
not going to cut you off.
She's in my econ class and my business law class. My econ class, talk for 45 minutes. The professor does not care.
Yeah.
He'll answer your question at the end.
Yeah.
My business law class, like, you can have an argument for 20 minutes and the professor will be like, okay, but my rebuttal is, and I'm like, oh god.
My political science teacher in first year was like that too. So like all of the other kids in the class who knew this guy was a problem would like, we would like steer them.
There's
this guy in our class, he does the same thing, except he's so nice and likable. Like most of the popular kids at my school, that you on the outside, there's no reason to hate them. And all the other kids in class who don't care and don't talk, they don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But like for me, I was waiting for my teacher to finish explaining the 15th Amendment to make sure that it was on the quiz, because whatever she writes down will be on the quiz. And he just would not let her finish. And I knew it was coming up, and she never wrote it down. So then I just had to write it down anyway, and I didn't know the definition she was using, but she's going to use the definition she has on her test. And I was just like, bro, please stop talking. Oh my God. I'm at the point where I'm so self-conscious about how much I talk in class that I talk less.
Yeah.
Like professors know I can talk more. And they're like, why don't you talk? And I'm like, listen, man.
Like our physics professor when she was like, hey, Raheem, step it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I'm always like, listen, man, I know it's hard for you guys because like you guys literally have so little to work with people who don't talk in classes.
Yeah.
But there's like an unspoken thing with students, and they will like judge you for talking too much, and I can feel it in their voice, especially when I'm like ahead.
Yeah. On that same exact note, literally, the first day of econ, we had like a normal class, it was a fun class, whatever. The second day of econ, this older lady, and I'm talking also like 40s, late 40s, an older black lady, and you can see like the white hairs come in. She shows up to class. I guess she missed the first day, whatever. She sits at our table. I came late to class, but I didn't really like meet her or anything. So I sat down late, and I saw her taking notes. I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really think about it too much. I was taking notes, and then she looks up because we have screens at every table, and she looks up at the screen and goes, "Huh," and then continues writing down. I'm like, okay, whatever. I kept writing down, and then she turns around. She goes, hold on, professor. I'm like, oh God, just from the hold on, professor, I knew that she was gonna be one of those ladies that will argue with the professor and like have like long conversations. And I knew as soon as she said professor, every other kid in class goes in their head, they're like, oh God. because we all had the same realization. She ended up like talking and completely missing the point. She was having like, no, professor, I think you missed you explained that wrong because instead of it being X, it's supposed to be Y. The professor listens to her be completely wrong for a solid 10-15 minutes.
Yuck.
And goes, sure, I don't disagree with you, but you're thinking about it incorrectly. And I'm like, dude, stop her before she spends half of our class talking. Yesterday, we had a quiz. She still don't understand the concept of economic rent. Do you know what economic rent is?
I bet I'd know it if you explained it, but off the name, no.
Essentially, it's just like economic cost is like buying a chair. It's $500. It's a chair. Economic rent is with this chair, thinking outside of the box. I no longer have to go to therapy, and my back will be better. Blah blah. Blah. It's the bigger, more than just a chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Idea. That's the best way to explain it. And so she didn't understand economic rent and one of the problems. And I'm like, no, let me explain it to you. I'll explain it to you. No, hold on. But because the way you write it, sir, was in this southern, like South American, like not South American, African American accent, like southern. She goes, no, but listen, honey, the way you did it was written in this way. I'm like, dude, no. And everyone hates when she speaks. And she's such a nice lady. She was watching videos of like her grandkids in the middle of our quiz. And I'm like, ma'am, silence your phone. I'm trying to take a quiz about Ibn Battuta in the 13th century. And you're sitting here watching your grandkids at a playhouse in a freaking McDonald's. I am going to throw your phone out the window. I'm going to fail. Shut up.
She is living her best life.
But she's one of those like older grandmas that like just talks like she was like back in like the 80s when she can have all like the free speech stuff, and she's just talking and talking and talking, and it's very annoying in like the way she speaks and being wrong 3/4 of the time when she speaks. I wouldn't mind if she like I can zone out very easily, but when she's wrong and I know that she's wrong and the professor knows she's wrong and we all know she's wrong, and a class full of 30 kids and we're like, maybe she can like finish her sentence now and then he can explain it and not take 10 minutes. And then she does not take 10 minutes. She takes like 20. And the professor goes, yeah, but, and I'm like, oh my God, here's another 45-minute conversation. It pissed me off. I don't know why.
I had two people in my history class last semester who were like that exactly. They were so bold. Like, I swear, sometimes people need to beat their kids a little bit more because like, they would go on and on and on. Like this girl, she was really fascinated with textiles because her dad does textiles. So everything that we learn in history, she always asked it from a textile perspective. She was like, what did you know? And the professor's like, okay, thank you. And she's like giving him fun facts about history. And this other guy kept trying to teach him history. And at the same time would ask the most obscure questions. He'd be like, so what was Napoleon's brother's cousin's last name? And he'd be like,
Napoleon.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not that kind of He would literally always say, I'm not blank kind of professor. Right? Like, I'm not an economics professor, or I'm not a textiles professor, or I'm not a political science professor. So I don't really know. And I was like, yes, of course you don't know. You know U.S. history. You don't know U.S. history, and U.S. history is second cousin. So this, can you, I used to like, me and my guy next to me in class, my neighbor, we'd always like look at him so dirty, but he's so like not, what's the word? Like not aware of what others are like thinking.
Yeah.
And he just like kept powering through everything and just wasting so much class. And I hate it so much. And I literally got to the point where I like wrote an email to my professor. I was like, listen, man, in a very polite way. I was like, listen, man, you need to control your class better. And I deleted it because I was like, who am I to write this letter? And then at the same time, I was like, I wish this kid had that kind of shame because, oh my God, that's nuts.
This honestly, that's reminding me of like, I was watching MasterChef a whole season, and there was this one chick that pissed me off. She used to be a male escort.
Hey, yo.
Male escort, is that what they call
female escort?
Female escort? The dancing ladies at night?
Wait, what?
The dancing ladies at night?
Oh.
She was a prostitute, and or like a stripper. And
there you go.
I'm not gonna try to explain it.
There you
way
go.
around. I'm just gonna say it.
There you go. You guys have Google. You guys can figure it out.
She's a prostitute. She's a lady of the night.
She's a lady. Yeah, that's
what I was going for, but I can remember. So I'm just a prostitute.
She's a woman of the evening.
She was a stripper, and she kept talking about like, I couldn't see my son, my little brother for 2 years because I decided to do this and move to New York. Blah, blah, blah. The thing about her was the challenge would be like desserts, right? And she'd be like, oh my God, my family owns a bakery, and that's amazing. My family's Italian. My family actually goes fishing every week. My family does this. My dad is actually a lawyer, and so like he'll be doing. She's a jack of all trades, and she's like, yeah, but I'm also like a lady of the night, and I'm like, ma'am, how are you a lady of the night? Yet your parents own a bakery, are Italian, are lawyers, are freaking like your dad has been ninjutsu, they're karate kids, they can go fishing, they can do all this stuff, and like it pissed me off because she was like, I'm everything, and everyone in that challenge hated her. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I had a friend in middle school exactly like that. Exactly. Every single thing turned into a personal story.
Yeah.
And all of those stories took 20 minutes to explain, and all of the jazz and pizzazz and sass, and it was like so extra. But the thing about it was she was one of my best friends in middle school. So I couldn't say that to her. And I couldn't be mean to her, but everyone knew. And we just had to live with it.
I used to look at my friends if they were like that, and I'd be like, hey, with my hand I'd be like, you're up here? Break it down right here. But I wouldn't say anything like verbally. I'd be like, like bring it down your volume. Like stop talking.
It's probably my second like worst pet peeve. Because I think in high school or in middle school it's less, but also like people are dumb, so they don't really know what to do.
I guess. Yeah.
But then by the time you get to college and people are a lot more vocal about like their thoughts, and also they've lived long enough that they know a little bit about everything, people really feel the need to comment about everything.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that good professors who make their class feel like a conversation, people will take that literally and like answer everything the professor says.
Chick. Yeah.
And like talk back to everything and raise their hand for everything when sometimes it's just not needed.
Everyone good? Okay. Any questions? Yeah, so you said the quiz was open note, right? Yeah, I said it 6 times already.
Oh my god, I hate it when people ask stuff that's so clearly on the syllabus.
Okay, cool. Now, I mean, granted it was on the syllabus. He just mentioned it 6 times in the hour lecture that you can't obviously Anyway, we're just going to continue.
I mean, I'm at the point where I think there are kids in my classes who think I'm the annoying one.
I don't talk. I watch anime in my business law class, and the kids behind me are like, hey, can you like move the computer just to the right a little bit so we can watch with you? literally the
Did
funniest.
Did they say that?
Yeah, because we got up and lunch. Not lunch. We got up halfway through the class to go use like a bathroom break, whatever. And so I get up like, I was like, I gotta go pee, bro. I've been drinking water all day. And I get up, I turn around. There's the last row in the class right behind me. The 2 kids were like, hey, can you just move your laptop a little bit to the right? Because I had like the split screen. I have my notes on my left and the anime on the right, and one AirPod in. And they're like, hey, just move it a little bit to the right. I'm like, I can full screen if they want. Like, no, we're good. We can see the subtitles. Because I watch the subtitles. I don't watch dub. I'm like, all right, good for sure.
Bro, they're like, nah, sub is good. We just want to see a little bit more.
And then when I finished, like watching, I finished the class. I got up. There's still a couple episodes left, and they were like, all right, see you next week.
Dang.
And I'm like, all right, cool.
The anime plug.
Yeah. So now when I finish, like, I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and so like whenever I finish watching that, I'll be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna turn. Hey guys, we're starting Attack on Titans today. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know.
I really need to get on Jujutsu Kaisen. I've been sleeping on it for so long.
There's some things I'm like, okay. Also, I've been watching like the ones where like the kids mainly, like Demon Slayer. They're kind of like kid-ish preteens.
Oh, like younger protagonists,
like younger ones. And so Jujutsu Kaisen's like a guy that looks like he's in high school. Obviously, like they say he's in high school.
I hate him.
And so it's kind of like just weird, like going from watching ones that are preteens for a short time, and now they're like young adults. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. I was telling Amar that, and he was like, bro, why does it matter? And I'm like, listen.
Age is just a number. Matters. Jail is just
so if I simp for this girl, none of you guys call me weirdo. Anyway, yeah.
I think we have one more interesting story in between our recording, actually. Or do you want to save this for next time? Next time. Okay.
That's a different story.
Then we will leave y'all here. We have we have an interesting story that actually occurred in the middle of this recording. You know,
don't tease him like that.
That's how you get return viewers, bro. I know for a fact some of our friends are gonna DM me after this and be like, "Yo, please tell me what's the story." And I'll be like, "Unfortunately,
you gotta wait until next week."
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching and
watching.
I mean, that'll be someday in the future,
one day.
But I hope y'all all have a really good day. Check out some of the other podcasts if you do want to. We talk about some crazy stuff. We're definitely certified idiots, but in the best way possible.
Go to Dutch Bros in Starbucks and figure out what chai is better.
Yeah. Hit up the chai and tell us what you think.
Chai time.
Tell us what you prefer, why.
The late night show.
I'd love to see more people's opinions on this, more people to weigh in. And yeah, other than that, Ibrahim, do you have anything else you want to say?
Honestly, I'm good, bro. Go tell that one annoying kid in your class to shut up.
Yeah.
I'll pay you.
Someone needs to do it. Everybody needs to rip off the Band-Aid at some point.
Send me thoroughly. Your PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. I'll got you. I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later, okay? Hey, check out the Instagram.
Instagram. Send it to your friends.
Yeah, check out the Instagram.
Send the episode to your friends. I know some of you just listen. You're like, okay, and then move on with life and wait until next week. But listen, we are a small. I'm gonna go into like Wolf of Wall Street. We are a small global company. Okay, small global company.
Yeah.
We are a small company currently on the rise to a whole new world, as Aladdin once said. Okay, we need y'all to talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your loved ones. The ones that you don't like, tell them, hey,
Jesus Christ.
Hey, listen, here's a podcast I think you'd really enjoy. You hate them, but you're like, these guys are so annoying. Even if you hate us, these guys are so annoying, I'm going to give them to my uncle that I hate, and he'll just start listening to us. That's completely fine.
If we had uncles listening to us, that would completely change our platform. Oh my God.
I would not.
Half of our jokes are uncle jokes, dude.
If you have a cousin that you hate, you'd be like, these guys are so annoying. It'd be like a perfect prank to like play on these kids because they're so annoying. Give the Spotify to them or Apple Music. We're on all of it. YouTube too. We're not recording yet, like live, but
yeah, you'll just see the logo.
Yeah, it's the logo.
But
it's kind of just chilling. You can download it from YouTube. You can download it and listen offline from Spotify.
Did Wolf of Wall Street really say all of that?
No, he actually convinced a guy to pay $4,000 for a penny stock that's at 10 cents. That very original stock. I watched the TikTok all day. I'm gonna go watch it again. And he's like, oh, so let me tell you, this stock, it's coming in. It's literally in a garage, and like everyone, like he's just lying to them to start to steal money because he gets like 50% commission or something like that. So $4,000, he gets $2,000. So that's how he became Wolf of Wall Street. And he just used to lie and be like, it's on the rise right now, working with military equipment. And it's literally just a sign on a garage. But by him telling people to buy the stock and convincing them it's so big, more people buying the stock and the stock gets bigger and blah, blah, blah. And it shoots up. So he's technically in the right, but also in the wrong. It's that idea. But anyway, listen, send it to all your friends, family, and loved ones. And
if you think anybody's interested, if you think anybody would
he's
like
saying it nicely.
Then yeah, definitely hit them with the pod.
And when you do,
I
I will walk up to you, give you a bearded hug, and then I'll give you a shy.
Yes, a patent pending bearded hug, bearded shy,
bearded hug,
bearded shirt, bearded socks, and a bearded massage.
No, I ain't doing that.
I'll do it.
I've had one of our female friends like always like play with my beard, and I'm like, listen, you ain't dating me. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, these are reserved.
This is reserved for my significant other that I don't have.
Bro?
Like,
step
off, queen. I will lay you out with your hooped earrings. Okay, hold me back, bro. Anyway, thank y'all.
Yeah, we'll see y'all on the next one. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.